Well, hey everybody, it's another 5 Minute Paranormal. Phil's here, so we get to do it together.
What?
I am so stoked about that. And to even add to the stokiness of this 5 Minute Paranormal, this is a viewer question.
Ooh.
How do we pick the locations that we investigate? But before we share how we decide where we go, we want to hear from you. How do you decide what is your next site for a paranormal investigation? Make sure to drop us a comment, and while there, like and subscribe to the channel and enable notifications to make sure you are always in the know for whenever we put up new content. Now let's get to how we decide where's our next place. Now, I will actually start with this, not because I'm just picking up the Eddie, but it's like my security blanket.
Yeah, I get that. I do get that.
So I would say that we choose where we go based on the accessibility of the property. And what I mean by accessibility of the property is accessibility of the property means that we don't have to sneak around. We tried that at Blackburn, and it didn't quite work out for us.
Wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst.
No.
We had good moments in between sort of this
Awkward
feeling of we don't want to have someone come up and be,
What are you
doing?
You meddling kids?
Get back to your room.
Exactly, right? Yeah. Relax, for Pete's sake.
Yeah.
But when it comes to choosing places, I think that we look at the accessibility of the property, we look at the history of the property, and I would also say that we look at how new the property is with paranormal investigation.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that helps us prioritize the spots we want to go to.
Sure.
In terms of the legwork, Tina and Pip have really hit it out of the park in terms of populating this list of great places to go to.
Pip and Tina have helped us find places like Wayside Inn. They help us find places like Crescent. But there's a good example. Like, for example, Crescent versus a place like Waverly. Waverly has been investigated and investigated and investigated. Every show you can think of has gone to Waverly.
Yeah. For good reason.
For very good reason. But then you and I got into Crescent really early.
They had just been open for investigations for a couple months.
Point. And we actually got there before the Ghost Brothers got there. We got there before the Ghost Hunters got there. We got there before Destination Fear got there. Yeah. And that's not a flex. That is not a flex.
Not flexing. No flexing.
Might be a little flex. But it still... the thing about...
Gotta let us flex once in a while.
Once in a while. But the thing about Crescent is that it was undiscovered country. It's exciting because these are places that people haven't looked into. The Candy Factory, another one. Our season opener,
where people have had a ton of experiences, but it hasn't actually been investigated.
And then, of course, we have to look at cost.
Yes.
We have to look at the and not just the cost of getting a private investigation of a property. We got to look at lodging. We have to look at transportation. We have to look at time off of work if we have to take time off of work. Little things like that, they all add up.
There's no one single factor that makes the decision for us. It is all the combined factors.
But we have to, again, look at the cost. Is it feasible? So there are a lot of things that
and
are
also
happening.
Notice we're saying feasible. We're not saying worth it because most of these places
are all worth it.
All worth
it. But again, we have to look at budget. We have to look at time. All of these factors come into play. And that's why when you see us going to location, it's not on a whim, unless it's Antietam with your wife.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But when it comes to making that final decision, you need to stop, pump the brakes, and go, okay, is it in our budget? And then take all these other things into consideration. That's what we do, and that's what we recommend that you do. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope this helps you in planning your next investigation. From all of us here at OSI, take care, stay safe,
and we'll see you in the field.